I'm here with Dinah Christie. Welcome to the second annual Canadian International Television Festival.
Thank you. I've heard about it. Sounds wonderful.
Well, it's an honor to have you here. It really is.
Thanks.
What was it like working on Party Game?
The most fun for 10 years that you could possibly have. And they paid us money, honey. We couldn't figure that out. We would commute from wherever we were in the world. We'd put 5 shows a day into a can, and they would pay us.
It's
and
amazing.
I got to work with Luba Goy, so that's the best part of all.
How did you keep your energy up?
It was so easy. When the material is good and you're working with people you love. Mind you, we were also about 21 years old, so, you know, things were easier then.
What was it like being the only female?
Well, I was never really the only female because the opposing teams would bring 2 girls and 1 guy, you know, just to make it balance out. But being with Billy and Jack and Bill Walker, they were all such gentlemen anyway. It was just a joy to work with.
So it wasn't an issue or anything like that?
Never, ever.
And did you, Billy and Jack, ever come up with secret codes or signals?
Many.
Can you reveal any?
Many, yes. Well, what we figured out with the W words, who, what, where, when, those sort of things.
Yes.
So we would go who, but we put them near a W near our eyes like an owl. Who, you know?
That's
and
so clever.
When was the chicken? When was the chicken? And why was this and I, you know, so just to speed things up.
Right.
But the nice part was that the company made sure that the opposing teams that were coming to play against us had all our signs too, so they could use them.
So they so it wasn't really an advantage that you guys had.
No. We just to speed the thing on camera.
Right.
We would, instead of the alphabet going A, B, C, D, E, F, if we needed to go lower on the alphabet, we would go L.
Right. Okay. So it would start at L.
So then it would tighten things up.
Right. Oh, it's so
You weren't even born, were you?
No, I wasn't. But I was watching the show on YouTube, and it's quite entertaining, it's hilarious. And you guys are amazing on it. How do you think it inspired Canadian television?
Well, Canadian children were inspired by it. That much I know. And CH is an amazing little station off in the bush somewhere, you know, Hamilton.
Yeah.
But everything they touched all through then, and frankly now, they've got Tiny Talent Time again, which was the first show they ever had.
Right.
And it's exquisite. Wonderful talent, of course.
Yes.
And they make it work. So I'm all for CHCH. They brought along most of the comics that are now world famous.
Right. Well, we have them to thank for sure.
Yeah.
Do you have a memorable moment on set or even a charade that just stuck with you?
Well, once Billy Van, who was an absolute darling, but like the rest of the Van children, didn't have an education as long as he would have liked to. So he was, sometimes he'd come up against a word like podiatrist that he didn't really know how to enact, you know?
Yeah.
And at one point he looked at me, and Jack and I were sitting on the couch, and he was trying to think of something, and out of my mouth came, podiatrist, and he went, white witch, white witch, white witch. So I became a white witch.
Wow.
It was one of those freaky things.
Yeah.
Well, when you work together for, 10 years,
you get to know each other, and you can start reading minds.
Exactly.
Did you do any preparation before this?
Nope.
You just went right for
We
it.
did. Riff Markowitz, who produced it, worked us really well at the Windsor Hotel, where he had a lovely accommodations.
Right.
So he knew what he wanted from us.
Yeah.
And by the time he was ready, so were we.
Who was your favorite guest, if you can name one?
Luba Goy and Roger Abbott and she's leaving.
Oh no.
She's leaving now.
Oh no.
Uh-oh.
Oh no, she's coming. She's coming in.
Luba Goy.
Hey!
Hello, darling.
Hello, darling.
You're pushing the thing that's going on.
Oh, it's okay.
My body always pushes things. I can't do anything about that. Here, stand here.
Look, I'm here with a statuesque goddess.
And another statuesque
Yes, from the sublime to the ridiculous.
Because never.
No.
So Dinah puts these, we were up in the green room, and Dinah puts, she looked fine, she looked great. And then just before we leave, she's got these earrings on, And I thought, well, yeah, I could have worn my big long earrings too,
Well, you both look lovely.
Thank
you
you,
both
darling.
are raining in sparkle.
Thank you, darling.
Luba, if I could ask you, how do you think you have influenced Canadian comedy?
This is my good side.
Come over here.
You should be over here. Because this is my,
do you want me to be on this
yes,
side?
because this is my good side.
Okay.
See how good my side is? You see, look at the difference. Now you're
Okay. Well, now this is my bad side.
She's left us. That's not my good side. You have to be over there. She's got my camera. Hi.
Hi.
I'm sorry
it's
to interrupt.
fine.
Yes.
How are you?
I am good.
Can you talk to me a little bit about your experience on Party Game?
Well, we were guests with Roger Rabbit, Don Ferguson, and myself from Air Farce. Then it was the Royal Canadian Air Farce, Ici Farce Canada, in radio.
Right.
So we were not known on television at the time, and we were invited to do charades. And I don't know, this may or may not be a secret, but you do the whole week in one day. So Monday, it's like 9 o'clock in the morning, and then you're finished by 10. Then it's Tuesday, you have to change, and Wednesday, Thursday, you go through the whole week.
Right.
So if you're not prepared that day, you are so screwed that whole, week.
Yeah.
But it does get better as the day goes on. It's like Monday, Tuesday. So in those days, I'm in radio. I didn't have these outfits. I didn't have 5 outfits, right? So the very last day, I had this really stupid long dress on that had a peach top and these long green. It was like all clingy.
Yeah.
And it showed my bodacious behind, like, Kim Kardashian, eat your heart out. But anyway, that is it was 1972, I believe.
Right.
Or 3, and that's the episode they're going to show. With my great,
with your lovely outfit.
Yes, with my lovely outfit, which was, I hated it, but I had run out of outfits, and I didn't think it through. You should have wore the best outfit the last day, but it didn't work that way. You know what it's like.
I'm sure you looked beautiful.
You look
anyway.
amazing.
Oh, well, thank you. Hello.
Yes, you're so beautiful. But it was very exciting. Roger Rabbit has left us, and Don Ferguson, unfortunately, could not be here. But Air Farce is still going. We're doing our New Year's Eve special. Yes, our New Year's Eve special.
Yes.
May the farce be with you. This New Year's Eve. I go, it's on New Year's Eve. They go, well, what date is that? It's New Year's Eve, December 31st from 8 to 9. So, but it was very exciting, and Dinah was amazing. She would help us, show me, like some tricks and whatnot. I mean, it's charades, but
still, you need skills, and you need to be able to keep it going.
And funny. You had to be funny, because Billy Van and Captain Jack, they were just incredible, and Dinah was as well. She'd get her guitar out. She had the best legs in the business, and was very well established at the time on television and on stage, and singing and doing musicals. So she was a huge icon for us. And
well, you both are in Canadian television and Canadian comedy.
Eventually, if you stay in the business long enough, and you get to be known, especially when you go from radio to television. People, what's the difference?
That's not an easy transition.
No, and what's the difference between radio and television? Duh.
There's a lot.
I'll always be 6 foot, tall on radio. I have a body like Angelina Jolie on radio. Long, blonde, flowing hair on radio. So. How
do you think, as a woman, you and Dinah have influenced Canadian comedy?
Oh, she leaves the toughest questions to the last. I think we support each other. Come here.
Come in.
Yes. How do we influence? I think we support each other as performers.
Yes.
I think you mentor people. Yes. That's what Dinah is known for. I have never met anyone that was more generous in her. Yes, she was extraordinary. We were in radio, and we were just in awe of her, as I still am. Is you have done incredible things for our country, and you are such an ambassador, for diplomacy and you just make people feel so amazing. And you taught me a lot that day. It was the first day I really worked with you, and you were so amazing. Oh my God, Luba, you're right. And you were so effusive, and I thought, well, she's just.
She didn't know that I was in love with her from the minute.
Aww.
But it is a mutual admiration and love society when it comes to, and Dinah Christie and people like herself and Tom Kneebone, and they did so much fundraising over the years for the Senior for PAL, year after year after year, and And you taught us that it was important to be supportive, to be a team, not just like, oh, it's all about moi. You know, today young people are they're so selfish about, it's all about them, you know. It's all about me. Yes, but it's just not the case, because you're never going to get anywhere in this business unless you're a team player. Yeah. Honestly, what goes around comes around. If you had bad karma,
That's not very true.
Think some you know, some hosts that have been disgraced and whatnot, you know? Yeah. You may think that you can get away with things, but it will always bite you in the end if you don't have integrity, if you don't have passion for your work, if you're not committed, if you don't take care of each other and help the young people. Help them and encourage them to be their best. Not, oh gosh, she's so beautiful, she's so young, like, you know.
Canadians are actually known for the non-ego of artists.
Right.
As a Canadian artist, we don't see a point of having an ego.
No,
we
and
just
there
do
is
our
no
work.
point.
There is no point.
You just do what you love,
Absolutely.
and you meet the people, and you just
keep on going.
Yeah, and you make those relationships and establish them.
That's right.
Yeah. Well,
I'm sorry, I don't. Step forward, because
sorry,
it's going bouncy. See, I should be a director, but I was going to say something, but oh, Dee Dee.
I'm very shy.
You're very shy.
Hello, testing. 1, 2, 3. Oh.
Stop it.
Hello.
Yeah, she's very intelligent. Grade 7. You learn to talk like a duck. The teacher goes, Luba, have you finished your assignment? I go,
I'm very sorry.
and it's like, young lady, you're not going to get anywhere with that attitude. Boy, was she wrong. I knew that I could work in any major international airport doing the announcements. Attention, passengers. This is the final boarding call for flight number... Now, boarding and gate 54. And would Mr. and Mrs. Please come to the front desk. We found your missing luggage. But the thing is, we do have to support each other. And you know, if Dinah and I worked, like we haven't done a stitch of work in our life. Have we? Just do what we love. So it's you know, I've never worked a day in my life. I've just had fun, really. Yeah. Although comedy is it's a tough business.
It is so. But if we live with comedy to keep ourselves from being depressed and share it, we heal.
That's right. Comedy is the best medicine, kids.
Laughter is the best medicine, kids.
Yeah. Well, there you heard it from two great, inspiring women. Thank you both very much.
Pleasure.
It's been a pleasure, an honor. Thanks for watching. Be sure to check out more interviews from the 2014 Canadian International Television Festival's Red Carpet.